Hello, so after a bit of a hiatus, I wanted to do a training update on this would be now level 4. So we started on level 1 for people who were maybe pretty immobile, maybe older, overweight, things like that. Level 2, a little more progress, or obviously time allowances 2 up to level 3, and now so this is level 4, relatively advanced, and this is what, well, it's when I first became a PT, we used to call it PHA, peripheral heart action, or it's a form of HIIT. So it's a continuous all over body workout, and it's using it's resistance based, and the resistance is the body weight, calisthenics. So it's using the body weight, which I'll touch on, a lot of the benefits of doing that as we go through. I'm just going to first touch, so here we've got the pull-up. So I'm basically trying to exaggerate the time under tension by putting a hold on the up and on the down. So this is sort of touching, I'll go into this a little bit later on, but this is getting into a hypertrophy mode, so a muscle increasing mode. So I'm emphasizing the eccentric by putting a pause on the way down, and I'm also increasing the time under tension. I'm just changing the grips. The pull-up is a very good sort of postural back exercise, which and as you can see, I'm almost pushing it to exhaustion. So I'm mixing that up. I'm putting all of my heavy, more complicated exercises in the beginning where I'm fresher, and I'm going to mix it up where sometimes it's going to be the opposite, the antagonist, or here it's just a break up from the back. I'm going onto the legs, and I'm doing then a power exercise, so plyometrics, which I touched on in another video, but it's basically, and that's one of the benefits I like about this workout, is because it touches different training methodologies, so that gives you different outcomes. So the big one is, I suppose, the primary reason for this type of all over body workout is that it's primarily focused on balance and growing the posture, growing it from the ground up. And what I mean by that is the muscular structure is like 67% back and legs, but you get to find a lot of resistance work is done on what you might call the vanity muscles, or the chest, the biceps, the abs, and that just basically strengthens and shortens those anterior muscles at the front, and it sort of weakens and lengthens the muscles on the back, and you end up kind of hunched forward, not very good posture. So here you'll find, I think this is actually over 70% back and legs, so really working that posterior chain, which is your power source in a lot of cases anyway. So yeah, here we're doing mixing it with the plyometrics and with the basic press up. And this is a good idea to video yourself, because what we're dealing with here is poor form, and what I've got in my head, and this is about ego here, because I've got in my head a number. So I wanna hit, because of the time and attention thing, I wanna hit 50, let's say. Well, it's 50. Because, and once you've got a number in your head, then you're already making a mistake, because what you want to do is you just want to go and do the exercise to its full range of motion and go to exhaustion. But then you lose that when you're just hitting a number and you got a number in your head. You just want to get to that number, and that's kind of the wrong mentality. So it's good to video yourself, because I'm looking at that like, well, I need to drop that number, because 5 years ago I'm 42 now, but anyway, I digress. So here we're back into the plyometrics, as I think I termed this the best exercise in the world. This on its own, just doing that in the morning, is excellent. So basically what I'll try and do is hit different areas of the muscle. So I've done different grips, supine, prone, and neutral grip on the pull-ups. Here I'm doing basically upper, middle, and lower chest. I'm mixing it up with the single leg. So that single leg helps with those proprioceptive muscles, keeps you balanced. It's a great exercise anyway. Where am I? I'm talking then about this type of workout, this what you might traditionally call a circuit, with basically what I want to do is no pausing. I want to go from exercise to exercise, And what I'm doing then, I mentioned this before, I'm hitting at least 3 of the 4 training methodologies. So endurance, hypertrophy, strength, and power. So the overall effect will help my endurance. I'll go into that in a second. Hypertrophy, I'm touching certainly with the pull-ups. I'm emphasizing the eccentric. You want around 40 seconds. It's not a number for hypertrophy. This is like bodybuilding, increase the muscle. It's not a number. It's a time under tension. So when I'm doing those pull-ups, those are going to be in that range where it's it's gonna be around about 70% of my maximum maybe, and I'm overloading, so I'm getting close to exhaustion with it, and I'm putting a pause into it. Now, so that's hypertrophy was touched on. Strength, not really. If I was to do strength, I might do, say, single arm press ups or single arm pull ups. So that is one of the hard areas to hit with body weight. And I am hitting power with those plyometric explosive works. And then if I say hit power with the press ups, I might do clap press ups or explode up with the shoulder claps or things like that. But so now I'm on to core. That's sort of lower core work there, and I'm mixing it up with head and heel raises. So you can't really see here, but I wanna get my hands to go at least touching or past my shoulders ideally. So there's a little squeeze at the end which tightens those muscles that are antagonists to the chest, because I've done quite a bit of chest there. So I'm not doing anything like bent over row. So those muscles that are opposite, same place but in the back of the chest, like those rhomboids, those mid traps, those need working because I've done quite a lot of chest there. So ideally, that's just they're type 2 twitch muscles, so they don't need maybe huge work, but they do need work just to keep that posture there. And plus I've done good work on my pull-ups. This is more mid-core, and getting a little bit of obliques in as well, because I'm not getting into like sagittal range here or medial stuff, so which I could do, but I'm still touching on it. So I mentioned endurance, hypertrophy, strength, power. The only one I'm not really hitting much on this one would be strength, but it's possible to get it in there. And then lastly, what I like about it does hit the 3 energy systems that we work to. So you got creative phosphate anaerobic workout and aerobic workout. So your creative phosphate is things that you're going to explode into, so within 10 seconds. So if I was really pushing those plyometric leg explosion stuff, that would count. Pretty much everything I do, certainly in those first heavy duty compound exercises, they are anaerobic. That's like lactic threshold, 1 minute stress area. So most of the stuff I'm doing there is enticing that. But as the circuit goes on, more sort of easier stuff around that core work, and you'll see when I work on like the arms, even this is for a big muscle like the shoulder. This is more about stabilizing muscles. So I'm keeping my shoulder, because I've had a rotator cuff issue, so I'm keeping my shoulders healthy with those walks that I'm doing. But I'm more into building, because this is a lower intensity now, I'm more into building that overall endurance, and also getting into the realm of the aerobic fitness thresholds. So now I suppose I wanted to include this because other than the pull-up bar, which is like I think about 20 quid or something, I'm just using my living room. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm still doing a full body workout. Probably the biceps is the hardest area to hit, but yes, this shows you can hit it, and it also gives you a little bit of a nice stretch around the glutes, the hip flexors. So watch, I'm gonna mix up then. I've done biceps, and mix it with triceps. So the 30-degree wide arm press ups are gonna hit the chest. I'm keeping my humerus close to the body as I go back, and the elbows are going right backwards. So that's a tricep press up. So I'm mixing bicep with tricep there to end it off. Always end it off with that very simple one joint. So it's just the elbow joint. It's not complicated. It doesn't matter if I'm tired or it's doable and it's achievable. I'm not going to get injured or anything like that. So I'm mixing up to end off bicep and tricep. So to kind of summarize, this would be something you'll see. It'll total take 10 minutes. I could add in a few little extras if I want. It's just one example. I'm ending off here with the last exercise. So this is total 10 minutes of one thing to another, circuit, PHA, sort of a hit angle, and this could be done perhaps first thing in the morning on it's a heavy duty one, but it can be achieved perhaps in the morning, and ideally away from the, even if it's not in the morning, it could be done away from the energy of food, to get that post absorptive hit. Thank you.